How do you decide what to do with your life after high school? As you get to the end of your high school career, the idea that a decision needs to be made is daunting. People constantly ask you, what do you want to do after high school? Seeing as my dad was a professional photographer, I found his work very intriguing. I started to follow him wherever he went on off-site photo shoots. I wanted to learn as much of this trade as I could. I even thought that photography could possibly turn into my first career choice.
Well, when you were small, maybe 7, 8 years old, you had one of those, you used to get those little disposable cameras, and used to take them out in the garden and take pictures. And I remember the first time I asked you if your dad had grabbed the camera, because the pictures were so beautiful and they were sort of reminded me of things that he might take. And you said no, it was you. And then later on you took some more pictures at camp and various places, and they were all like that. There was just something special about them. They all looked like they could be framed. There was very rarely a bad picture in there. And so it was clear to me that you had a way of seeing things that enabled you to take really good pictures. So Wyatt made this book of, it's sort of the story and pictures of our trip out west that we took when he was in 9th grade. And it's really special because it reminds me of our trip. I think this is where I really began to see how amazingly talented he is.
My dad introduced me to the sport of golf at about the age of 10 years old. Upon that first swing of a golf club, I was hooked. It was exhilarating. I wanted that feeling of a good shot to happen over and over again.
Henry and Wyatt both used to play at least 2 or 3 times a week. We'd either go to the driving range in West Lebanon, or we would sometimes play on the weekends at the local golf courses. And they enjoyed going out, many times a week. It was always a fun outing.
I practiced with my high school team in 7th grade and competed with them the following year. The coach on the golf team recognized my potential and helped me take my game to the next level.
Young, getting started, obviously I'd already been playing some golf, but new to the school and new to the team. And being very enthusiastic, being very motivated because partly because you really wanted to develop in your golf, and partly because I'm sure as a newer kid in the school you wanted to find ways to fit in. You didn't strike me as innately as competitive as some kids are at those ages, and probably because you're more of an artistic personality, and in my experience and observation, more creative people tend not to be as driven by a competitive desire. And that's certainly the case for me, and I think I've seen that in others as well.
I didn't always love to play golf, but I knew that laziness couldn't get in the way of my ambition. Our team competed at the state level for 4 years in a row. I was able to get used to the spotlight. As I looked into the future of this sport, I realized that the chances for making the pros were less than slim. Only 1 in 326,000 people have their name on PGA Tour databases, and only a fraction of those people can make a living out of it. I decided that I still love to play, but just as a hobby. It became clear I was not ready to decide on a definite career just yet. The answer for my worrying came when I started going to the local technical center. There I discovered media and design. Everything seemed to fall into place. The work that I do doesn't even feel like work. I never thought that I would like media design. The art seemed a little foreign to me at first.
I think the biggest thing I saw why it was a sense of confidence. I don't know that you, when you came here, were really confident in your abilities as an artist, a photographer. And I think you really found some things that you were pretty passionate about here. I think, you came in maybe with the idea that photography was your thing, and you are really good at the photography piece, but I think when you got into the graphic design unit, and in particular when you competed for the FBLA competition, which was, included the logo design and all of the sort of corresponding media that went along with that project, and then placed first at the state Vermont competition, I think that is when I really knew that you had figured out what you wanted to do.
When I first got hooked into media design, I stayed up very late nights figuring out new techniques on how to improve my design. I love to come up with clever ways to display a company name. I'm just an amateur right now, but nothing comes easy without repetition. The decision between a hobby and a career was difficult a couple years back. Granted, I didn't have much to worry about school-wise, but the idea of pursuing a career for the rest of my life scared me. I made quick assumptions in subjects that hadn't really been explored fully. My question for you all is, what drives you to decide between a hobby and a career? For me, it wasn't so clear at first. I had to experience a lot of things that I was skeptical about. But now that I found my passion, I'm hoping others will too.
That was a bunch of crap!